Drew Brannon here with AMPLOS, and I want to talk a little bit today about the whole concept of the word soon. So I have found in working with lots and lots of people and teams and organizations over the years that a lot of folks have a very interesting relationship with the word soon. That might sound a little strange, but here's what I mean by that is so often people will be talking about a direction that they plan to head or a change they intend to make. And the next word in that discussion is always soon. I'm going to do that soon. I'm going to get around to doing that soon, right? We're going to be where we really want to be soon. And what I have found is that when we use that word too casually, and when we use that word without having a true concrete action plan, soon never changes, right? So we are experts at continuing to say soon again and again and again. The question becomes, when does soon transition into now? Like, when is now? And I think what most of us would recognize is we are experts at filling up our days, our weeks, our months, our years with things that are getting in the way of soon ever becoming a reality, right? And so I think one of the best things and most important things that all people, teams, and organizations must do is to reflect honestly on what is the horizon line that you have created and that you are telling yourself will be here soon. Then you've got to move to a little bit of an honest assessment of, is it getting any closer, right? Am I actually trending toward or tracking toward what I said was going to be real, what I said was going to be a today reality? Oftentimes the answer is no. And one of the more common reasons why the horizon line isn't getting any closer and why you're continuing to say, oh, I'll get to that soon, is you're giving yourself permission, whether it's conscious or unconscious, to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Well, where does that lead? Oftentimes, the place that leads is eventually a person realizing that you've waited too long. The opportunity is no longer there. What typically comes next? Regret. And of all the human emotions that people can experience, regret tends to be one of the most painful. We've all been there. We all know people who have been there in really profound and painful ways. But we have seen, unfortunately, too many folks who lived in this world of soon, 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 that ultimately became significant regret. So the challenge that I would want to issue would be, what are the areas of your life that you will continue to say, oh, I'll get to that soon, right? It could be things as small as the phone call you haven't returned, the fence you haven't painted, things that are just very much kind of normal everyday occurrences. It could also be much more significant things of that apology that you owe someone, or that goal that you have been talking about, but really not acting on. So the challenge that I would really ask everyone to consider would be, can you do a deep dive? And we might call it a soon audit, right? What are the areas of your life or the decisions or things that you are continuing to say soon on, and challenge yourself, right? Get to the point where you no longer want to be saying soon, you want to be moving on it and acting on it. And ultimately checking that box, putting it in the rearview mirror, and moving on to the next one. That's how you go about creating growth and change and improvement in your life. So have the courage to ask the honest question, have the courage to give yourself and tell yourself the truth, but be very careful about how many things you might be saying soon on instead of truly acting on.